So HBAR is shaping up nicely, as you can see on this price chart, where I've been tracking a 5-day structure. And I mentioned in my previous update that I was tracking the wave 3, and I'm looking out for the wave 3 to reach the 1.618 level at 33.584 cents. So given the fact that we've not reached this level, it looks like we're still within this third wave. And we have had this recent corrective move to the downside play out, followed by this push to the upside where we've seen a breaker structure being triggered on smart money concept. And looking at the stochastic RSI, looks like the bulls currently have the momentum, and of course that's reflected on this price chart. And so I am still looking at for that continuation to the upside where we breach past the local top at 29.9 cents. So if I zoom out, it looks like within this third wave we have a 5-way structure that's forming, where we had a wave 1 play out, a wave 2, and it looks like we are still within this third wave. And then we see that wave 4 and 5 that will play out, where that fifth wave would then reach the 1.618 level as a minimum requirement to then complete this third wave. And within this third wave, it looks like we have another 5-way structure that's forming, where again, if I was to draw that out, we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, 4, and 5. And it looks like we are within this fifth wave, which is this one here, to complete this third wave, where this fifth wave will also be made up of 5 waves, where we have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to complete this fifth wave, which in turn would then complete this third wave. And so as far as the short-term target goes, this fifth wave would retrace towards the 1.226 to 1.618 level. So if I bring in the fib tool and draw that in, so essentially we could see HBAR reach anywhere between 31.094 cents to 33.218 cents in the short term. And that would then complete this fifth wave, which will also complete this fifth wave here, which in turn will complete this third wave. And then shortly after, I will be looking out for that retracement to the downside, followed by a final push to the upside to complete this fifth wave, which in turn will then complete this third wave here. And so just to make sure that this structure is actually playing out, what I'll do is make sure that this corrective move to the downside is now complete. So if I remove this and drop down to the 5-minute chart, and yeah, straight away I can see that what we are forming within this corrective move to the downside is a WXY structure. So if I just double check to see if that's the case, I'll bring in the fib tool, and the local top sits at 28.942 cents. And so this Y wave would typically retrace towards the 1 to 1.226 level. And as you can see, we ended up reaching this level here at 26.621 cents to complete the Y wave. So essentially we had a WXY structure, and then we had this WXY structure to the upside, followed by a final push to the downside. And so we had a bigger WXY structure form, where this formed the W wave, this formed the X wave, and this formed the Y wave. So again, if I check to see if this Y wave met the typical requirements, so we ended up reaching 27.616 cents to complete the X wave. And so, yeah, here it looks like we failed to tap into the typical range for the Y wave. However, the minimum requirement, which is the 61.8% retracement level at 25.703 cents, was met. And so, yeah, despite us not tapping into this region here, this WXY structure is still valid. And then as you can see, we ended up seeing that push to the upside where we broke past the wave X. If I zoom in slightly, in fact, we've actually not even reached past that level as of yet, but I'm looking out for HBAR to continue to move to the upside, but then break past this level, and that will then trigger a breaker structure on smart money concept, further confirming that we are on a bullish trend. And so, yeah, as far as the short-term target goes, I'm still looking out for that continuation to the upside, where we then tap into this region, same between 31 cents to 33 cents. And then shortly after, I will be looking out for that retracement to the downside, followed by a further push to the upside to then complete this fifth wave, which in turn will then complete the third wave on a macro level. So if I go in the 4-hour chart, that will then complete this third wave here. And then I will be anticipating people to take profits at this level, which would then result in a downward trend on the price action of HBAR, where people then buying at a low price, which then drive the price of HBAR towards higher highs. And shortly after, we'll be looking at for that bigger retracement to the downside, where we'll see a 50 to 88.2% retracement of this bigger wave structure. And of course, that would then be a very good opportunity to be buying in at those lower prices. So yeah, that's just my update on HBAR. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.